Okay, I want to welcome everybody to Unconventional Wisdom, the CSE Investment Show / podcast. We're here every Thursday at 10 a.m. Central Time, and I'm still broadcasting from Puerto Rico. And so far, it's just Keith and I, Bigfoot Randy, who broke his foot last week, hadn't shown up yet. I'm sure he will because he didn't let us know that he wouldn't. Cezanne and Joni will not be able to be here today. They both had other commitments. And so we'll just shoot it back between me and Keith here for a little while. Our phone number is 214-377-1108. 214-377-1108. Today'd be a good day to call in because we don't have a guest occupying that line. So if you want to call in and ask any question, just be glad that be glad to have you. So we have Marcus on here, our engineer. And so there's three of us. Marcus usually stays pretty quiet, never cuts on his camera. He's the round dot that you see that vibrates every now and then when he talks.
I am compound stock earnings round dot.
There you go. Nothing new news. The fiduciary rule has been getting a little attention lately. The Labor Department still wants to implement it. Now, they're looking at implementing it in stages now. And the first stage, and I'm not sure what the first stage is going to be. They want to do it by June the 2nd. I have really doubts that this is going to happen. But if it does, it's just going to make happen what I've been predicting a long time. This will give the opportunity for most of the brokerage businesses to go out of business as far as doing anything with your retirement accounts. They'll still be doing brokerage, and they'll be doing their own stuff, more of their own stuff. There's Randy. He's coming on now. Hey, Bigfoot, how you doing? He didn't fall out again, did he? There he is. How you doing, Randy?
Good. How you doing? I made it.
How's your foot today?
Pain's almost gone, so that's improvement.
We got your wheelchair ordered.
I saw that. Yeah.
Anyhow, getting back to the fiduciary rule, it's just gonna expedite most of the major firms, particularly insurance companies, from doing anything regarding retirement accounts. You doing anything with retirement accounts unless you've got no liability, doing it yourself, because none of them can meet the fiduciary rule. And so this is just gonna, expedite what I've been saying a long time. Is a lot of them just gonna be going out of business. Of course, they claim that they'll work around it, but they can't work around it as it's written now. So, Randy, what have you been doing? Have you done any trades today? I know Cezanne during their trade the moment seminar, Cezanne got a good app trade in, and Joan didn't get anything, but she had a good one yesterday.
Did a few things. Did a few trades today, but the momentum trade that was entered during the Advanced Charting Platinum webinar on Tuesday, it closed out today. So 2 days of investment for 4.5% return. That was one of our momentum trades. That's that's the slower trade compared to Joni and Cezanne's trade the moment. They get done in about a minute.
Cezanne made 4-something plus 4.2, 4.3, and I think she was in there about 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah, so, it was barely enough time for her to get the orders in.
Yours is good for an old fellow with a broken foot.
That's right. I'm slower to get around, and I think I'm starting to get a cold too. So,
yeah, I hope you don't. Randy said that he's been kind of slow. He hadn't had any good positions to get into the last day or two. I told him he didn't need to. He's up 300, 400% for the year, and so he doesn't need to rush out and get into another position.
Yeah, that's a thing that you don't have to force a trade and just wait for the good ones to come. And just sometimes it gets frustrating and taxes my patience sometimes on trying to wait. But at least I haven't gotten into bad ones, and I've certainly been reducing a lot of those significantly too by being more patient on picking the right place in the charts.
Yeah. Why don't you tell the folks, listen, just one of your trades, you have the two different kinds. Why don't you take one of them and tell how you structure it?
Yeah, the two trades I try to do are the Iron Condor, the conservative midweek Iron Condor, and try to open that on actually today. I always look at right after the podcast here today to open that and do that for next week's expiration. And we try to do it a fair amount out of the money on both the call and the put side, and just trying to get a modest gain. And we've averaged, I think, probably about 3.5% per week when we've traded that. Now, not every week we can do it, and just trying to be picky for the premiums we get for it. And it's like everything else in CSE. We have rules that we try to follow, and if it doesn't meet the criteria, you don't enter the trade. If it meets the criteria, you enter it and work it through. So it's we've actually been trading that again since last June, and we're up over 50% in just doing those real conservative trades on weeks that it'll take it. And we have not actually, knock on wood, have had a loss in that actually by going to the more conservative approach on picking the trades on that. So that's a good one.
Is that return year to date?
That would be since beginning or since mid-June last year. So not quite a year, about 3/4 of a year. 50, it's like 54%, something like that.
Yeah. Interest in these trades, you can go to our website, compoundstockearnings.com, and check out the website, and you can find his seminars and what he does and times, and have the ability to sign up for them or whatever you'd like to do. You can also check out, and you'll see on there Randy's free Tuesday evening introductory webinar. It's live. It's from 7 Central Time, at 7 p.m. Central to 8 p.m. Central, and to 9 p.m. Central, I'm sorry. And it's a great seminar. We have people that attend there that are brand new, that don't know really what we do, and people that have been clients forever because they can ask Randy questions and you hear the questions. He has all his charts up there. It's really, really a great free seminar. Anytime you sign up for one of our seminars, you can always come over and over and over. You can come in person, you can come online, and just really a great way. You can ask questions anytime, email us anytime, and whoever teaches the seminar that you're interested in will respond. So it's really, really a good thing. We also have, when you go to the website, check out and get for our free Cal report. It comes out every Friday. It's always dated for Saturday. It comes out on Friday afternoon, and it has every email that we receive, and there's hundreds of them in there, and the answers that our people ever answer they give. And we publish all emails that come in unless somebody specifically says, don't put this in the Cal report. And that's really rare. I think it's only happened in 15 years. It's only happened a couple of times. So it's really great. It's totally free. Called the Cal report, and you subscribe to it. It's in the on our website, compoundstockearnings.com. Randy, I always leave off something. Is there something else we should be saying about looking at the website?
No, the archived radio shows are there as well as archived podcast.
Yeah, our podcast, our radio shows going back, I guess, 10 or 12 years. Every single one of them's there. And so, Randy, what have you done today? Any trades?
Oh, actually implemented in the covered call platinum portfolio. I entered 3 trades already today. Thursdays are usually just kind of waiting for the weeklies to expire on Friday. You know that the covered calls is a little bit slower process. It's not as fast. And we have weekly expiration. So Fridays is when the options expire. So either positions get called out or we manage them into the next week to generate additional income. So usually by Thursday, most of the positions are all in place, and we just kind of sit back and wait, get some action on Friday.
Most people don't realize how this business has changed over the 15 years that we've had compound stock earnings. It used to be, Randy only had the opportunity to close once a month, and that's the third Friday. And we used to say, okay, you're gonna probably get 3% per month, 36% per year uncompounded, because you're closing out once a month. And now any number of stocks have, and they add some new ones every month. You can close every Friday, some of them have even added where you can close a couple of times a week. So that gives you the ability to make 2 or 3 times at 3% a month, because you have the opportunity to get in and out of the positions more in the course of 1 month. And just so many things have changed like that over the years. The brokerage companies have just kept reducing commissions, and they're still doing it. And it won't be too long. If interest rates go up a little bit, we'll have total interest-free, not interest-free, but no commission trades. And the way they make their money is on the money you have deposited in your account. They earn interest on that. And right now, those interest rate returns are just too low for them to do anything. So there's going to be a lot of interesting things happen down the road. And it's just, even Randy, remember back to Keith too, I guess, when we were all having to do dial-ups. And then we finally got just total. By the time we had a seminar, we spent the first half of the day helping people get out of positions they got into because they hit the key too many times. And it was just a nightmare. But that's life, and it just keeps getting better. I don't think there's been one thing that they've done that's been negative toward our technique, Randy and Keith, since we started. There's just never been a ruling or rule or done anything that hadn't helped our clients along the way. And of course, what we do, for those that maybe this is the first time they've heard the podcast, we never buy a stock hoping it's going to go up in value. You don't get wealthy by buying things that appreciate. You get wealthy by buying things that produce income on a regular basis at extraordinary rates, and you compound that income. And that's how you get wealthy in the stock market, because we don't take a risk. We look at it like the real estate business. We buy good property, we rent it. We rent it via the covered call. Robert Kiyosaki, very well noted for his real estate ventures, wrote the forward to our book, CompoundStockEarnings.com. The book's still out there. You can get in bookstores. You can buy it on Amazon, and people buy that book every month. When you can buy it off our website, we have the same price as Amazon, I believe, and it tells you how to do what we do, which is buy stocks and rent them, and produce extraordinary monthly, weekly income, yearly income. Just like Keith is up 300 and some odd, it's 300, 400 some odd percent, Keith, on
400.
400%.
Yeah, and that's just the one approach. If you add the CMIC in it too, then we're up about 450%.
Yeah. When Keith made a presentation when he first started working with us, how many years ago? 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
Actually, it was about 7 years ago, Joe. Believe it or not. Yeah.
Time flies.
Yeah.
Well, I can forget. Easy. It's a little bit easy, yeah. But before he made his presentation, he was trying to break 1,000% return for the year. And the last couple of weeks, he had a deal didn't work, and he only got almost 1,900% plus. And of course, nobody would believe that. So we showed at the seminar every page of his actual brokerage statement. So everyone's on there. But nobody believes that, but it's there. And that's what happens. Cezanne and Joni's trade, same way. Of course, Randy has even longer tenure with us. And gosh, you've been doing this a long time. What, over 10 years, I guess, Randy, right?
Yep, over 10 years. Yep, 2006 is when I started.
Yep. So, okay. Well, since we're not going to get Cezanne and Joni's report, and so we're not going to be able to ask Cezanne what her returns were since last Thursday, which she never knows what they are. Joni always has to keep them up for her.
Yeah, but Cezanne guaranteed that she would have those numbers this time.
I know. Exactly. That's what she did. And then she had some other kind of appointment she had to go to that couldn't be changed.
Yeah, like you said, she did do a great trade today.
Yeah, and it was good. It was a little slower. Probably, I think, about 20 seconds or something like that.
It's over 3% return for a minute.
Yeah, it was over 4. It's 4.2 or something.
Yeah,
4.2%. Don't forget now, our line's open, 214-377-1108. Ring over at Marcus's office. Marcus, is that phone ringing off the wall?
You know what? It hasn't actually started ringing off the wall yet.
Hadn't off the wall yet? Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
Hey,
know,
Joe, you made one comment about not wanting stocks necessarily to go up in price, but one thing that Randy does is the dogs of the Dow, and then he sells calls on that. So you both get the addition of the stock appreciating as well as the rent price of selling options against that too.
And
Yeah,
dividend.
I did say that, and I misspoke. It's not that we don't want them to go up. That's fine if they go up. We don't care if they go up or down. I mean, we obviously like for them to go up, but even we have a technique in our traditional covered call technique that the Randy teaches. You get into a position one day, and you sell your call. Stock goes down, and you actually have the ability to buy that call back for less than you sold it for. Make a return, then it goes back up a few days later, and you sell it again. You can go back and do 5 or 6 or 10 transactions, depending on how volatile the stock is. No matter which way the stock goes, you have a technique. When you got to sell the covered call, you don't sell the covered call, you have no ability to manage that stock. If you just buy the stock, it just sits there. You have no ability to manage it. If Keith bought a stock and I bought the same stock the same moment, the same second, we paid the exact same price. He didn't sell a call, but I did. I've made more money than he did just by doing that. And he has no management. He has no ability to make more money if the stock goes up or make more money if the stock goes down because he didn't sell the tool. He didn't sell the call, which is what you have to do. Of course, when you sell it, the money goes into your account instantly. And it just kind of starts from there. But no, it's, management's the key, not speculation, but management. And that's what we've always done. And then when Randy came on, started doing more. We've always done leaps. The book is covered calls and leaps of wealth options. So we've always had leaps, but he's expanded that dramatically as Keith has his techniques, things that were never in the books, were never in our book, and probably nobody else's book because they pretty much invented a lot of these techniques. But they're not like brand new like yesterday. They have a track record. They've been around for some time, a number of years, and they just keep adding stuff all the time. It just gets better and better. So if Randy can just manage to not fall down anymore and break his foot, he's good. He's like me with the 2 rugged ones.
That's because Keith lives in the snow and he just has to stay inside all winter, like hibernating.
Yeah, right.
We don't have much snow down here in Puerto Rico, So
that would be a big event, wouldn't it? If it snowed there on the beach.
Yeah. What I do, we have a generator here, so if electricity goes off, the generator instantly comes on. The problem is that on the internet, that instant, it has to totally reboot itself. And so when we do this seminar, I'm actually just using my laptop on the battery, and then I have my cell phone and doing the using it for the internet connection. So it's nothing's hooked up to the power. But as far as everything else, the generator comes on instantly, and you're not, it's only down for a few seconds. So,
Joe, you talked about the covered call and how we generate cash income each month without relying on the stock going up. I actually demonstrate and show how we actually do that during the Tuesday night free introductory webinar, so they can actually see step by step how we select positions, qualify them, and enter them as a covered call, and how the income is generated from that. So they can actually see that in action on Tuesday and get a good feel for the technique. And that's
tell our listeners, Randy, that besides just the selections you send out when you do a trade, and I'll talk about that, and then you talk about the other things that get also with the seminars and stuff. When Randy gets ready to do a trade, he sends out an email, which you may get 5 seconds later or 5 days later, but at least you can put it in your file as for the trade. You also get a notice on your screen, your trading screen. You get an instant notice on your smartphone. So you get these trades as he's doing them, and then when he manages them, when he closes them out, you get all that too. Same way with Cezanne and Joni, same way with Keith, and same way with Bill and Ray. Same way with those guys, the SSH techniques. And so Randy, what else? Now you do What do you do else do you do during the week besides the Tuesday evening?
Well, we do the advanced charting coaching webinar every Monday, and advanced charting is just a fantastic charting program that Compound Stock has developed. As proprietary, but it's fantastic, and it lets you almost look into the future to see where the stock or the market is headed, and it tremendously improves the decision-making process for any of the techniques that we use, whether it's cover calls or leaps or trade the moment, credit spreads. The intraday streaming charts is an offshoot of that gives a moment by moment trading. The trading goes across your screen on the advanced chart, and that's what Joni and Cezanne use for their enter and exit so quickly on their trade the moment. And that would not be possible to be as effective as they make it if it wasn't for the advanced charting that Compound Stock has developed. And that is just a fantastic program. And so,
do you use that ice chart on yours?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. In fact, both Keith and I are always kind of looking off the screen during the video here because we're always looking at our charts that are over here on our side screens. And so,
what about you, Keith?
Absolutely, I use the ICE charts. I use the advanced charts, the ICE charts, as well as the CSM charts for my service. So absolutely, and Randy's funny because yes, I am looking at the charts on my other screen here.
There you go.
I have my extra screens. Keith's got his extra screens, and we're always looking at the charts no matter what we're doing.
Probably a lot of people, when we say the ICE charts, they think that we're tracking immigrants.
Yeah. And that's the intraday streaming charts, but they're just fantastic. And so I give a coaching webinar every Monday on that. Keith gives his coaching webinar on Tuesday with his credit spreads, and Joni and Cezanne give their coaching webinar on Thursday every morning. So
yeah,
when we give our coaching webinar, they're live in the market. I mean, we're actually looking at real live positions, real live charts.
Yeah, they do that long one on Thursday, which was today. It's usually about 2 hours, and then on Monday and Wednesday they do a not the full one, but a brief one where they go in they'll do a couple of trades. It may only last 15 minutes. It may only last 5 minutes because when they do those trades, they walk. Everybody sees exactly what they're doing, and they can do them too. Then they leave because they can only do one trade a day, but they're there for 2 hours on Thursday. And they have that long one where they're there all day, which they just had one a couple of weeks ago, and actually trade all day. So,
that's another thing, Joe. With respect to the helping the clients out in the Platinum service, we're always available for emails for questions, as well as a number of times clients will suggest a specific topic or piece of the trading to do, and we can prepare that for the webinar. So you actually request personally what you'd like to have presented on the webinar, and I've done that a number of times.
Yeah. Okay, well, this is about our normal time, so we'll call it a day. And you have anything else you want to say before we sign off?
Just have everybody go to the website, compoundstockearnings.com, sign up for the free Tuesday evening webinar. It's free. So, I mean, it's not like a bait and switch. It's free. You get to see how we do a covered call and one of our management techniques, which is probably even just as important because that allows generation of income even if the stock is going down, without selling the stock for a loss, because stocks go up and down and they eventually usually come back up. So we can generate income no matter which direction it goes.
One more thing before we sign off. It's really funny. I don't think y'all have seen the picture of Joni with her helmet. She has this helmet that looks sort of like a World War II helmet, that she's terrified of tornadoes and things, because they have them in, they had an earthquake yesterday. And tornadoes around Georgia, and she puts that helmet on. And if she was here today, I'd have her put it on so everybody could see her live. So,
it'll have to become an attraction. We'll have to get her to put that on. Everybody's going to sign on next Thursday to see that.
Okay, well, thank y'all very much for being here. Thank you, Marcus, for running things, and we'll see everybody next week, and go to our site, compoundstockearnings.com, and check out all the stuff we're talking about. Thank you.
Okay. Have a good day, everybody.
Goodbye.